Hello everybody, welcome to DES2, Technical Drafting 2. I'm Todd Frazee and I'm your instructor this semester. And in this first lecture, we're going to pretty much cover an overview of the course. I have currently the course running in student view. There might be some minor variations as changes go. But after you've logged into the course, you should see this screen here. This should be their home page. And there's several ways to navigate here. You can navigate to the syllabus directly, the modules, and general resources folders here through the bar across the top. There's also starting here, which will bring you through the very first unit, which is actually Unit 0. And it gives orientation to the course itself. There are a couple critical things that you must do to not be dropped for the course, so make sure that you finish those two items, and that is to do the first discussion post over here on the list and fill out the syllabus quiz. If you don't do your complete the first discussion and the syllabus quiz by their due dates, you will be dropped from the course and may have to re-add if you want to take it. We're going to be moving fast, so we can't lose a lot of time. Some of you may be familiar with Canvas, but we have our to-do list, which will include all your assignments and announcements. And you can directly skip to each unit through these buttons on the main screen, which also is your schedule of topics. Now, typically, we will be releasing the next unit on the Monday of the unit. If I can, and I'm running ahead, I will try to open up units early. But right now your expectations are going to be that Unit 1 will be equivalent to the first week. Unit 2 will be open up on the second week. There are also your navigation bars on the left. The best way to reach me as the instructor is through this inbox. For Joe, who is also supporting this class, please email him directly. Which is his request on the announcements. So we're going to quickly go through some of these tabs, and what we'll do is I'll give you an overview of Start Here and Unit 1. So if we click on Start Here, we have an overview of course materials. A lot of this material overlaps with the welcome letter you received and the syllabus, but make sure you read this through, and again, to avoid being dropped, make sure that you've followed the instructions here. You already accessed the course, so you're here with Sierra. Some tips for success, though, is to review the Canvas schedule often. I'm trying to avoid changing any dates on anything, but they will be updated live. Review the syllabus before you take the quiz. And typically you want to log on to Canvas about 3 times a week to show that you're involved. And we'll talk about due dates in a minute. The course inbox is your primary communication with the instructor. If you're frustrated and you're just up against the wall and you need help, contact myself or Joe, and you can text me on the phone number that's on the syllabus. I prefer that you text me first, and then I'll arrange a time to call you back. We are here for your success, but I'd ask that you request that discretion with my mobile phone number. On Tuesday evenings at 6 o'clock, there's going to be optional drop-in sessions through Zoom for question and answers. Okay, your instructional team. Of course, my name's Todd Frazee, and on this page, if you want to learn a little bit more about my background, feel free to pick on the picture. It'll go to a YouTube video with a little bio of myself. And Joe Straw is our instructional assistant. He's excellent. He knows AutoCAD inside and out. He's been with the school for quite a while. He is your best resource during business hours. Um, okay, for AutoCAD questions. Technology requirements. Of course, you need a computer. You need to either access the virtual lab, which I understand is on a schedule. So you need to make sure that you review Joe's announcement of what days of the week the lab is open virtually. Or you can install it on your own PC. You can follow the instructions there. Should be free for students. Technology requirement. I highly recommend a mouse or trackball. There's a few people like trackballs, but I have had students in the past that tried to get by with just a laptop and a touchpad, and it's just not precise enough for CAD work. And a webcam is optional. Again, for those drop-in meetings, you can attend the Zoom meetings with just your phone and audio. You don't have to have web. Also, there's this Screencast tool, and it's what I'm using currently to record this. I'm not using the same exact tool that Autodesk offers, but this is a good way for you to, if you're having a problem, you can record exactly what's going on, including the errors. Send it to me or Joe, and or both. See which one gets back to you first. And we might be able to help you out with actually seeing, without having to be in real time, on how to help you out. And again, I'm willing to do Zooms on outside of my office hours if you make an appointment. Okay, and you'll want to configure your AutoCAD settings to match what the lab is by watching that video. I've posted the full course reading list. That way, if you want to read ahead, this is chronological by, it's ranked by chapter, not by unit. But each unit will, as you'll see, will have a list of readings. And move on to the next. The school asks that you provide some information on your computer. It'll help us serve you better. It's optional. If you click this button, it's going to open up a Google form. Please fill it out and hit submit, and please only do it once. We will use that data anonymously. This will open a separate window, so just be warned that if you click on that, you won't be in the same window as Canvas, but it should pop up as another tab on your browser. And we have the syllabus, so you can access it through the hitting next, or directly by selecting on the syllabus. If you'd like a printable version, there's a PDF version link here. Of course, here's my information. Feel free to text me or call me if you really need to. If you need an appointment out of those times, I'm more than happy to help you. I understand where a lot of us are working, and I'm trying to set up my office hours to accommodate that. Okay, I'm going to skim over a few things here, but the textbooks, apologize for the issues with the textbook. We were told, I believe, by the bookstore was told that they weren't going to ship print books and that they were only offering it online after we had placed our order. And so we had expected to have hard copy textbooks, and we're hoping to get it resolved for the e-textbook. I did send a follow-up email on how to purchase it outside of our bookstore, but in the light of that issue, I think you'll be fine using either the 2019 version, which you might already own from DES1. The chapters really haven't changed arrangements. The reading list is the same, and I don't think there is a great deal of difference in the book. Okay. Again, to avoid being dropped from the class by August 30th on Sunday at midnight, you're going to need to complete both steps of discussion 1 in Canvas in Unit 1 and complete the Canvas quiz on the syllabus. So it should be an easy 9 or 10 points. Okay, moving on. We've already covered all of this. One technology requirement I forgot to mention is some sort of image capture device that can produce a JPEG or a PDF. Not everybody has a scanner. Typically in this course, there were hand sketches done. We are going to continue doing those sketches, but I'm going to allow just submitting even a cell phone image of your sketches. We're going to be looking for more that you understand the principles than anything else, but do please try to use varying line weights between leader lines and the actual part definition. And do please try to have the best lighting and best quality image you can. And those will be uploaded within Canvas. All right, we're going to move down and we're going to talk about assignment requirements. So with a purely online class, there's a requirement for interaction. So what's going to be different about this course than the on-ground one is there's a discussion due every week. You need to log in, do an initial post. Every Thursday is the due date for the initial post, and it's on the calendar. Then by Sunday at midnight, you need to submit two responses to other students minimum. I will be doing my best to try to respond to everyone's posts, but we need to make sure that we're working professionally when we do that work. You may be working with some of your classmates someday, or maybe hired by one. So please be professional. And due dates. So again, I just went over the due dates for discussions, which is initial post by midnight on Thursdays, and final post is midnight on Sundays, except for the very last one, which is Saturday, because it's the end of the semester. Projects. We have different categories. We have projects, which I include the portfolio, CAD models, and drawings. And there will be one group project where you'll be working in groups of 4 towards the end of the semester. We have this set up so that it's keeping in mind that you may be working full-time. Due dates for everything pretty much is a Sunday at midnight. So you have the entire week from when the unit releases till Sunday at midnight to submit. Projects are the only thing you're allowed to submit late. If you submit your project one day late, you'll get automatic 10% taken off of your grade. And then you have up to a week to submit it. And if you're somewhere between 1 day and 7 days, at the end of the week, you're going to have 25% knocked off the top. At that point, the submission on Canvas will shut down and you will not be able to submit. If I do encourage you that if something happens, talk about it before the deadline. If you've got something that's coming up, and we can make some accommodations. And even if you miss this, 1 week late deadline, you do have a portfolio at the end, and there are following assignments that are dependent on that. So you're more than welcome to make arrangements to submit it to me for feedback so you can get a better grade on those follow-up projects. Everything else is due on the day that it's due, and pretty much everything is due either on a Thursday or Sunday at midnight. Except for final submissions for the final week. They're all due on the last day of the semester. Okay, the rest of this is policy statements, and I'll let you peruse those. Okay. So we're done with the syllabus, and you'll come to this syllabus quiz. So when you're ready, it's everything's pretty much open book. There's only 9 questions. You take this quiz. This is the only quiz I allow you to have multiple attempts. We like to see you get 100%. So you got 3 tries at it. but the intent is to make sure that you're engaged in the class and successful. And you have an hour to do those 3 attempts in. All the rest of the quizzes will be a single attempt. Okay, so let's navigate to the Unit 1. You can either navigate it by, again, hitting next, 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 or we can go to the modules. You go to the modules, you can see the list of everything that's due. Okay, so this is a typical page. You're going to have a summary. Lectures may be here in PowerPoint or video, and I may make multiple stage videos. I'll do my best to have everything completed on the first day of the course launching, but I may have to add additional videos as the week progresses. Your reading assignment for that current unit will occur here, and then your assignments for the week will also have hyperlinks here at the bottom. Okay, we're going to go ahead and hit next. I realize that the little video of myself is covering up the next button, but it should be in the right hand corner. And on this next page is a similar format in all the units. Will be a page dedicated to the weekly drop-in ConferZoom session. Now Joe is going to offer, I believe, 2 days a week for quite a bit of time, and he'll send out that schedule and where you can ConferZoom with him. He'll be the best resource for you during business hours. I do work during the day, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. But my meeting was intentionally placed at night to accommodate working students. So for my ConferZooms, all you have to do is click on the ConferZoom button, and you'll be brought to a window outside of Canvas. Now this looks slightly different because this is the instructor's view. Instead of prepare, it'll have a join meeting button here. And you can join the meeting even without a computer. You can phone in, and you have the option of phoning in also to use for your voice, even if you are using a computer. So that's a good resource. It's drop-in. I will cancel the meeting if there isn't anybody in attendance for the first 15 minutes. And I will go past an hour if it is beneficial for us. The first meeting, probably just meet and greet pretty much, but that is a group meeting. If you do want to make a one-on-one appointment, again, go to the calendar booking, appointment booking, and there'll be slots that will pop up here on Wednesday that you can reserve. And also, if you do need to meet and that Wednesday evenings don't work for you, send me a inbox message and we'll work something out. Okay, going back to Canvas. So that's pretty straightforward. The other way you can navigate to ConferZoom is just by picking on the ConferZoom tab like I showed you earlier. Okay, we'll go to next, and we'll go to the see what one of those discussion looks like. So those fairly straightforward instructions. You have to have an initial post. Our first one this week is you're just introducing yourself, and there's a few 3 key bullets that I'm looking to have in there when you introduce yourself. And again, respond to at least 2 other students by Sunday at midnight. If you miss this first due date on the initial post, that's not the end of the world. You will lose some points, reference the rubric, but you're better off going ahead and putting that initial post in late than never. But it will shut you out of submission to that project on the Sunday due date. Your second project that's due the first week class is a review project. So you're going to model the counter-bearing bracket. We're just modeling it. Next week you will be putting dimensions on it and making a drawing. We want to start you off with this. The reference drawing that you're going to model this part to, you just pick on this and it'll go to the PDF. And there's also some handouts that will be on each of these pages that are supplemental. When it comes time to submitting this project, you're going to press the submit button. And unless we have issues, I would like you to submit the DWG file for the models and PDFs for your finished drawings if they're in 2 stages. So you'd hit submit assignment and you'll choose your file, select your file, and then you hit submit assignment. Now you can type a comment here. It's not the best place for questions, but you could put a comment if there's something specific about your submission. You can submit your project more than once. If I do give you feedback before the due date and you're able to make the changes before the due date, then I will adjust, we'll use your latest submitted model. Now, if the module isn't open to you yet, it will appear like this, that it's locked, and it should give you the time and date that it's going to unlock. All right, so that's it for the first week. There are a couple assignments you don't have in the first week, and one of them is the study guides. I've changed how the study guides work. They will be introduced in the unit. I know Allison had students reading the prior week for the following to be prepared for the following lecture, but because our lectures are asynchronous, I do highly recommend you do the readings and the study guide prior to viewing the lectures, but I didn't see a reason to force you to do a lot more reading in this first week just to prepare for next week's lecture. There will be a quiz, so take notes on the study guide PDF that will be in the assignment, and then it'll appear as a quiz that you'll fill out by the following Sunday. You do not have a study guide for Unit 1. The first study guide will be in Unit 2. I would like to show you quickly ConferZoom. If you click on ConferZoom, which will show up in a separate window. All my standing drop-in meetings are here. And if you pick on appointment booking, I'm not able to show you the student version, but in the student version there will be blocks of time that you can schedule on Wednesdays with me. But once you're in the event, you pick on it, and when the event happens, you can join it. And again, you don't have to even have a computer to join the Zoom, but it's a great way to learn from your peers or get answers to questions on things you might be struggling with. Typically they'll be about an hour long. I will run longer if it's needed, but I will cancel the drop-in Zoom meeting if there isn't any attendance in the first 15 minutes. All right, thank you very much, and thanks for joining the class, and we'll see you online.